Respected dignitaries on the dais, my dear colleagues, and very dearest students of first year, I wish a very warm welcome on this occasion of a traditional day or cultural day. You are named as Sampradaya Divas. I would like to talk about a few important things related with our tradition and culture, and for that I have a doubt that whether you have the maturity to understand this or not. If at all you have maturity to understand that, then I require silence for at least 5 or 10 minutes so that I am heard what I say. Otherwise it will be a futile kind of exercise. I hope the last chairs there, the students are able to hear me. I would rather request you to listen to me, not to hear to me. So, few days back, first year students approached me and they wanted to celebrate what is called as Cultural Day. So I asked them a question like, what is the meaning of culture? I asked them, do you understand what is culture? Do you understand what is tradition? Or is it another day where you just wear colorful dress, have good food, dance, sing and enjoy? Is this what you call as cultural day? If you feel dressing well, dressing grandly, having lavish food, singing and dancing is cultural day, I think you are wrong. The meaning of cultural day should be to celebrate the culture of India. The meaning of traditional day is to take pride in the tradition, what we have inherited from our ancestors. So I was just going through some pages in my diary to recollect what I should speak on this day. It's a very tricky kind of area, talking about culture and tradition. How well do we understand our culture and tradition? Do you know what is the meaning of culture? Anybody here? What does culture actually mean? Culture is something very complex. Something very complex and whole that includes knowledge, that includes belief, that includes customs, that includes law, that includes the capabilities and habits what we acquire to become the member of a society. If a person behaves rashly, then we say he is uncultured. We immediately say he is uncultured. Whom do we say is a cultured person? Whom do you say is a cultured person? A person who behaves in a well manner, with kindness, having compassion, having empathy, having love for others, you say he is a cultured person. And how do we learn this? How did we learn how to behave, how to carry ourselves in the society? Because of our belief system. What is our belief system? The religion what we follow. These all things were written in the Vedas and Upanishads. Custom is basically, culture is what basically, it's way of life. What kind of life we lead decides our culture. Let us talk about all the cultures which we have inherited in India. Hinduism is a way of life. And how to lead this life is there in Vedas and Upanishads. How many of you really have opened that to learn what is that way of life we need to lead? Today we see that the holy books are covered in decorated cloths, kept as an ornamental thing in your house. And you want to project every visitor that comes to your house as that you are very religious. See, basically, religion is something personal, something related with how I lead my life. Accommodating kindness for others, compassion for others, love for others, the sacrifice, the empathy for others. What we see today is that religion have become more ritualistic. We are more sincerely following the rituals than the actual significance of religion. For example, if you see the festival called Deepavali, every time Deepavali occurs, it's a holiday. This is called tradition. The holiday celebrations every year for Deepavali is tradition. This tradition is part of a bigger circle that's called culture. And the culture has come from something very strong belief system that can be anything, Islam, Hinduism, Christianity, whatever it might be. So we derive the culture from the religion. And what we do today is we fight over rituals. We don't understand the religion behind it. We are all same creations, right? When we compare human beings, I think everybody has same attributes. I have 2 eyes, I have nose, I have lips, I have 2 hands, I have 2 legs. Maybe the color may be different, the size may be different, but we are creations alike. What I mean to say is when the creations are same, how the creator can be different? Have anybody pondered on this question? If creations are alike, creator cannot be different. Creator is same. I worship by going to a masjid, you worship by going to a temple, my Christian brother or sister goes to a church for worshipping. But all this worship goes to whom? Do we have different creators? Somebody has created Christians, somebody has created Muslims, somebody has created Hindus. The creator is same. The way of worshipping him is different. The method of worshipping is different. But all the prayers goes to one supreme entity, and that is the creator of all. I think as a teacher you should understand this. As a student you should understand. If students are not understanding, it is the role of a teacher to make him understand. It is the ego what we have, the complex, superiority complex what we have that make us fight. But we are not understanding the eternal truth that there is one supreme being which we need to believe in, and we are all creations of that supreme being. No culture in the world talks about oneness. Only the Indian culture talks about oneness. No culture talks about the world as one family. Only the Indian culture talks about it. No culture in the world gives the position of a teacher equivalent to God. Only the Indian culture does it. But what we see is that culture and traditions are degrading. The value system is degrading. Values and morals are part of a culture. But we see today a culture without values and morals. I was talking about Deepavali. It's a festival that is to be celebrated for cleansing. It's a festival of light. I hope everybody here, before Deepavali, you clean your house. Why do you do that? It's a tradition. But what is the significance behind it? What I know is that Goddess Lakshmi will not enter that house which has got dirt in it. Yes or no? So you want to attract wealth by keeping your house clean. But you don't want to attract the good things by cleansing your soul. You cleanse your soul, then only good things will come inside. You take a cloth which is soiled, dirty, try to pour water on it. It will not hold the water. It will not absorb the water. When it will absorb the water? When the cloth is clean. So when you cleanse your soul, then only things like truth, kindness, love, feeling for others will come inside your soul. So that is the significance of Deepavali is cleansing of your soul. It symbolizes good prevailing over evil. It symbolizes knowledge prevailing over ignorance. It symbolizes hope prevailing over despair. You know, in Muslim culture, we fast for 30 days. Not to show the world how sincere we are, and not to give a statement we are more religious than others. The significance is that in these 30 days, we sacrifice every desire of ours. We don't eat food, we don't enjoy, we don't wear good clothes, we don't spend lavishly, just to cleanse our soul of all the evils, all the desires, the ego. But people will not really understand why do we fast. What is the significance of it? We just keep ourselves hungry. Doesn't in any way shows that you are a religious person. There is a similarity. Diwali, when it's representing cleansing, Ramzan represents cleansing you. Where is the difference? We have Dasera. What does Dasera symbolize? People feel that the ritual or tradition to burn the crackers is celebration of Dasera. How many parents, how many students have really come to an understanding that Dasera is a festival that signifies the prevailing of good over evil? It's not the effigy of Ravana we burn. We actually burn the desires, the ego, the evil desires, the ego in us. It is that what need to be happening. But many of our young generation are not aware of all these things. I was surprised last time when I had a issue to solve from a transport incident, our bus incident. I was a bit curious. I just asked a student who was involved in this entire episode that, do you spend time with your family? That girl told, yes, we spend time with our family. I asked that girl, do you spend time with your mother and father? She told, yes sir, our mother and father will spend time with us. I asked that lady once again, how do you spend the time? What do you talk? We talk about TV serials, films, dresses. Do you think this is the quality time given by a parent to a child? What is quality time? I think the quality time is the time where the parent transfers the knowledge, the virtues, the truth, the difference between good and bad, like what is good for the child, what is bad for his child or her child. If this is done seriously by the parents, I think our young generation will not commit mistakes. I happened to talk with one of the vice president of a company, and suddenly the discussion took a different turn and we started talking about our culture, tradition and religion. What he said is that, Samir Khan, the generation what we see today, the young generation, has depletion of values and morals. It indicates that we have lost one generation. I said not once or two generations, because their parents also are responsible for what they are doing. what we teach our children, what we taught them, they reflect the same in the schools and colleges. So who is responsible for the depletion of values and morals? Is a single day we celebrate as a cultural day enough to revive all the morals and values in our students? There is a misconception, lot of misconceptions, lot of misunderstanding about our culture and traditions. We have a festival called Bakrid, where people think that they slaughter the animal. It's a lot of cruelty towards the animals. I also had a doubt, I asked a scholar. He told the festival is not just to slaughter the animal. It actually symbolizes sacrificing your desires, your ego, the evil in you, and submit yourself to the will of God. It is that sacrifice which stands supreme in front of God. Not just sacrificing animal means that everything is done, you are a very religious person. Every culture, every tradition has a significance. What is required is take out some time, know about our rich Indian culture and tradition. I was talking in the morning about Brahman with Subbarao. What's the meaning of Brahman? It means universal consciousness. There are two kinds of Brahman. One is zero Brahman, the other is expanding Brahman. You see the seed of a tree? That seed is called zero Brahman. When you sow that seed in the soil and when it sprouts and becomes a tree and that tree starts generating seeds, it becomes expanding Brahman. So life is going on in that manner. It's expansion. Even Einstein and where these things are written? I don't know whether you have come across these things in your life. It's written in Upanishads, in Vedas. How many of you know that? Believe me, a person like Einstein and Planck, which are the most acclaimed scientists in this world, could not understand this mystery. What they could not understand is there in our Upanishads and Vedas. Today people are seeing India for answers. But what we are doing? We are following all those nonsense traditions and cultures of a Western country and Europe. I don't say they have the worst kind of culture or tradition. What we are taking is only the worst things. We are not taking the good things. What is required is a young mind like you should understand in reality what is the culture of India, what are traditions of India. Every religion takes you to the same direction. The paths are different. Every culture, every tradition has a strong meaning to lead good life, to coexist in harmony, to be peaceful, to be good to others, to be kind to others. This is what is the culture and tradition of India. And my perception about culture and tradition of India is this, and I want you to celebrate the real culture and tradition of India, not just by dressing well, having lavish food and enjoying. If somebody can talk about our culture today, a student or a teacher, try to revive the memories, try to, if the students are not knowing, enlighten them about what is real culture and tradition. Through the holy books, what we have been inheriting all these centuries, I think that is the real celebration of culture and tradition. So anyway, I have given some thoughts for you. I have given some thoughts to you to ponder upon, to seriously think about it. What kind of customs, what kind of traditions, what kind of culture can lead to a better society, a better place to live, is what is the responsibility of each one of us here. So as a literate person, as a teacher, as a mentor, we understand things better than others. And do you know what is the meaning of tradition? Tradition means to transmit. to hand over, to give for safekeeping. So whatever traditions you know are for the welfare of the society, we need to transmit it to the younger generation. In totality, with sincerity, with truth. Then we can attain a better society. Then we can rise above this egos, violence, evil desires, and then we can imagine of a better society. So with these few words, I thank the teachers, the students listening to me, and I conclude with the hope that you will be the torch bearers of all these traditions and culture of India. Thank you so much.
Okay, those were some enlightening